right, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey, welcome to the Med Spa Club. I'm your host, Monica Swint. Here at the Med Spa Club, we love talking all things beauty, med spa, wellness, and of course, business, behind the scenes and what really goes on in business. And today, I have the one and only Jessica Lynn White. Then Jessica, my girl, I am so happy that she accepted the invitation to come to the Med Spa Club podcast. Welcome, Jessica.
Thank you. Thank you, Monica, so much. I'm so honored to be here. I can't wait to dish out as many gems as we possibly can in this short amount of time.
Absolutely. And tell us a little bit, give me your background. Tell me about
Okay.
yourself. I know you from social media.
Yeah.
I want to get to know you.
Okay, great. My name is Jessica. I'm originally from Ohio. I moved out to LA probably 13 years ago as a traveling physical therapist. I'm a PT and I work in a geriatric setting as the director of rehab. And my whole social media journey started when I was pregnant with my first son. He's 4 now. I went to this girl's page. My sister was like, you need to go check out her outfits for a photo shoot. And I had no idea what an Instagram influencer was. I knew what an Instagram model was. And she was doing affiliate links and she was doing brand collabs. And I was like, how is she getting free stuff for her skincare and free stuff for her nursery? So it started off as just for fun. And then it became so much more to me about, well, in order for someone to be successful to do that, you have to have a brand, a personal brand. You have to learn how to plan your content. You have to learn how to negotiate brand deals, how to represent yourself, how to navigate social media for yourself. And then I started doing content for a dentist here in Santa Monica. I started helping her with her content. And then I posted a gig on Fiverr. I know, like, and a nurse.
It is what it is. It's the beginning.
I know. I found some good people on Fiverr. It's feast or famine, chicken or feathers on Fiverr.
It is.
You got to cut your losses when you get somebody bad. And I did some social media stuff for her. And she was an IV hydration nurse in Alpharetta, Georgia. And she did body sculpting and injectables. And she had her own she white labeled some products. And before I knew it, I had 20 nurses doing their IV social media and kind of taking it from that, because it's still relatively new, right? And taking it from the fruit bag, right?
Everybody was
posting fruit bags.
I hate the fruit bag.
Right? To making it something more beauty and something more mainstream and understandable. And because I'm a physical therapist, I was able to use my medical knowledge. And because I was really into social media, I when I was rocking my son and I was just sitting in the nursery for hours, I just consumed so much content. What are people doing? What's working? What's not working? What are they putting in their captions? How do hashtags work? How do you stop the scroll? And I married those two things together to make that social media content for health, wellness, beauty, and spa businesses relatable, but still offer value in what their products and services do. And now we do social media, we do web, we do ads, we do graphic design, we do a little bit of everything in the marketing space. So that's my story, how I got here.
Wow, that's a great story.
Thank you.
It's a great story, and it's your journey. And
right.
Yeah, definitely. Wow.
I didn't seek this out. But I just kind of learned as I went along. And I actually found a virtual assistant on Fiverr who is kind of my business consultant. He's in Pakistan. And he was doing all these edits and stuff for me on my website. And I had like 3 websites at the time. I had a Shopify store and a blog and something else. And finally he was like, Jessica, why are you doing all this? I got to help you out here. And he just kind of became my integrator. I don't know if you've heard of the integrator and kind of genius, I guess it is, or visionary, the visionary integrator. And I think this is really true. Sorry for taking over here.
No, you're fine. I want to know. We want to know.
Right. For a lot of entrepreneurs, we have this vision in our head that nobody else can see.
That's it.
And if you can bring it with you long enough and defend it long enough to finally bring it, finding the right integrator, somebody who can bring that into reality for you, I think is the toughest part for many people. And they waste thousands of dollars on people that promise them the moon and don't give them anything. And so hopefully we can kind of chip away at how the average entrepreneur can avoid some of those pitfalls.
So actually, you found your who.
Yes,
You
I
found
did.
your who. You found, I call them your who or your hitter, that can
Mm,
bring your vision to life, because you
yes,
are the visionary, but you need
right.
someone to execute that thing because
Exactly.
you're the brains behind it.
I didn't know how, he's a Facebook, Instagram wizard, taught me everything I know, taught me how to edit WordPress websites. And now I can speak freely about those things. But, you can't just go buy the Kool-Aid and expect to put a shingle out. And I honestly thought when I first started doing my marketing, I honestly thought if I just started posting, people were going to come, you
I
know?
know.
That
Build
was
it and they
so
will come.
right. But that's not, you have to have a strategy.
You
And
do.
luckily I had somebody on my team that was able to help guide me, and I'm very fortunate. So I've done a lot of the failing in order to help, as many of us have. That's why you're doing what you're doing. You've done the hard work, and you've wasted all of those dollars and all of those tears and all of that
Listen,
time, I'm sure.
so much money. That's a whole nother podcast
Right.
for
That's
another
another
day.
podcast.
Okay, with saying that, let's talk about the power of social media, because I think a lot of people, especially in the med spa industry, they minimize the power of social media. Let's start there before we even talk about any paid marketing.
Yes. So my position on that, I'm so glad that you brought that up. When I first started doing social media, people would come to me with the same expectation that I had as a very green entrepreneur, thinking that if I posted for them, then they were going to get all these clients from social media. Now, if you're the face of your brand and you are very active on your site, that can happen for you. But
Mm-hmm.
even under the best of circumstances, it's probably going to take at least 6 to 12 months in order for that machine to start grinding along, right? To get value, to start to gain traction in attracting people.
Yeah.
Some people may do it a little bit more quickly if you've got a decent following on your personal page, and then you have to ditch that for your business. A lot of people struggle with that too. How do I merge the two together? Should I not? And that's different for everyone.
Right.
But social media is a part of the whole marketing picture.
It
And
is.
unfortunately, it is your business card. Nobody asks you for your business card anymore. They
They
say,
don't.
what's your social
What's your
media?
Mhm.
And if your social media sucks, it is a 100% representation of you. It's a necessary evil. You have to do it. So what do? Right? Most people are like, I don't want to learn Canva. I don't have the time. Even with Chat GPT, everybody's using that for
I love it.
captions. It works great.
I love it.
I do too. I use it in my business. I mean, I'm not going to
Yes.
lie. I mean,
Of
I
course.
used to hand write all of my captions for all of my
Mm-mm.
clients. No, not anymore.
Mm-mm.
But social media, I'm going to take you down into a deeper level here.
Okay.
So when you think about social media, a lot of people, like you said, say, "Oh, it's just pretty images or graphics." Obviously, video content is huge right now. Why is that important? When you're posting on several different platforms, I do not recommend that you try to do them all at the same time, because you could get really overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
But my service that we offer, we do have a like a CRM platform, client
Mm-hmm.
relationship management tool, and a funnel tool that allows you to post across several platforms. Same piece of
Oh,
content, you could put it on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest. You could put it everywhere. So what I would recommend is find a couple of things that you're comfortable with, and all of that content feeds into your kind of value score on those channels. And it also shows up on Google, right?
oh, okay.
So if you're posting content through Google, or through your social media. You can also post through Google My Business. But collectively, all of this information gets fed online to give people multiple webby ways to get to you and your content. And I think a lot of people think, oh, it's just a picture, whatever. But you can post all of that content. You can link it to your Google Business profile. I don't know if you know that.
I didn't know that. You just taught me something I
You
didn't
can't,
know.
and I can help you with that. I'll talk to you about that
Okay.
after the show. But, you know, if you're calculated and you understand what's available, you can not overwhelm yourself by taking the same piece of content, posting it across several channels, and then it feeds this kind of cycle of your personal brand and who you are, and it gives you more brand
Hmm.
credibility, more visibility, and
Okay.
ultimately more clients.
And social proof, because
And
people want to
yes,
know that you do the thing that you say that you do,
correct.
besides a beautiful picture.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right. And something's better than nothing,
absolutely.
to a certain extent. Sometimes, you know, sometimes I say quality over quantity. I would rather see
Absolutely.
2 good posts a week than a bunch of garbage just posted every day, like spam. That's my
Hmm.
personal opinion. I hope
I
that answered your
agree.
question.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as we're talking about prioritizing social media and the pitfalls, let's
Yes.
talk a little bit about that. Understanding how important it is and what are some pitfalls to avoid.
Pitfalls to avoid would be overwhelming yourself, thinking that you have to master everything, like I just referred to.
Hmm.
I don't spend any time dedicating content creation specifically for TikTok. I repurpose Instagram to TikTok.
Oh.
Some people do all of their content specifically for TikTok. And that's a big question I get all the time. Which one should I spend more time on? And it really depends on what you're selling. If you're
Mhm.
selling lashes and nails and beauty
Mhm.
services, what's your demographic? Do you even know who your client avatar is, right? So how old are they and how much money do they spend? A
Oh,
lot of
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
What is a client avatar?
A client avatar is who is your dream client?
Mhm.
Who do you want to buy your products and services the most? Who's
Mhm.
your ideal spender in your business niche? So if you don't know who that is,
Mhm.
open up Chat GPT and say, create a client avatar for a lash brand located in Atlanta, Georgia that offers services between $30 and $150, and have it spit out a client avatar for you. And then go to Chat GPT and respond and say, now give me 15 barriers to buying my stuff. And then
Jessica.
take those 15 answers and make those your content topics to answer and solve all of those barrier problems for your dream client. Watch your revenue skyrocket.
All
There's
right.
gem
So
number one.
listen, that's more than a gem. That's a console, and you just dropped all the gems in like a few seconds, and you just gave the game.
Right. Well, that's one way to do it. So your client avatar, if you don't know who they are, go to Chat GPT and play around with it. Once you have that, and you decide how old they are they male, female, both, what's their age range, how much do they make every year, whatever it is, then you can decide whether you want to invest in Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. A lot of
Mhm.
people that do beauty services, I have a lot of clients that do really, really well on TikTok and TikTok ads, organic content. Organic means you don't pay for it.
Okay.
Paid content means you run ads in some form. Now,
Hmm.
some people are a lot older. So if you're, this is not in the beauty niche, but if you're doing construction and
Mhm.
you're looking to do commercial concrete construction, you may be looking at people that are over 50
Mhm.
that own properties that need that
Absolutely.
kind of service. So you might want to dump more money into Facebook ads.
Yes.
But a lot of Instagram is still amazing, but it's very competitive.
It
So
is.
to answer your question about pitfalls, the number one pitfall I would say is throwing spaghetti against the wall. If you don't know who you're marketing to, I remember when I started doing even influencer stuff. That's how I started off. I was talking to you briefly before this. Social media for me started because I wanted to be a social media influencer to get free stuff. And then I learned how social media worked. But I tried to be all things to all people because
Mm,
because I thought that that's what I needed to do to make money. And I
absolutely.
wasn't making much money. And as soon as I became laser focused about who my
Mhm,
dream client was,
mhm.
and I structured all of my content to solving their problems, that was it. I'm just going to solve your problems for you. Then the leads started pouring in for me. And that's what I
And
started
wasn't that
doing.
really scary for you?
Very
Yes.
100%. Because I thought,
Uncomfortable.
what if I miss it? What if I
Yes.
miss the mark?
Yes.
And I did. It's dynamic.
Yes.
It's very dynamic.
Absolutely. Ooh,
Yeah,
thanks for sharing that. That was
sure.
great. And I'm always talking to my clients about consistency.
Hmm.
And they want the return, but they don't really want to do the work. So, how consistent do you have to be on social media to see a return?
You have to be really consistent. And I'll put this caveat out there.
Okay.
There's just like there is with anything else, there's obviously fear-based stuff out there. And a lot of the gurus and the talking heads was, it just makes me roll my eyes. They post these charts when you're supposed to post and what's the most optimal time. And you can really overthink it. My
Hmm.
basic, just like you, Monica, my basic advice to the average entrepreneur that's just starting out, that's strapped for a budget and time, would be to just post as consistently as you can. You know, if you're posting 3 times a week, that's better than not posting anything at all. And nobody
Right.
knows how the magical algorithm works. But it's pretty widely accepted that if you post content pretty regularly and you interact with that content, then you're going to show up on that person's feed
Hmm.
again. And if they interact with you and you interact with them, it takes effort.
Hmm.
It really takes effort. And if you don't have time to do it, you got to hire someone to do it. Now, that's a whole other topic. My brother's sister's uncle's friend's college buddy is doing my social media. So, and that's why I started my business, to help people get their social media done. You have to make a choice. If
Yes.
you don't have time to do it yourself, you got to hire someone. And if you hire someone, you want to hire someone good that
Yes.
understands your products and services. Is it
And
going to go
mhm.
ahead?
Now I was going to say, and you have to understand and know what you want before you can pass the torch to someone else to represent your brand.
Thank you.
You
Thank
have to be clear.
you. Yes. And that all comes down to, I believe, having a great mentor
Yes,
like yourself.
absolutely. Absolutely.
You have probably seen this too. I've had people come to me with, and I did this too. And I always relate to people in my journey. I think my first incarnation of blogging was something to do with Zen. And people always say, why is your name Zen? Zen Jessica. And I grew up, my dad's kind of a hippie, and that was kind of a big thing to me, is and I live in LA and everybody in Santa Monica is hugging a tree. So that was my thing for a while, but it doesn't serve me in my community. But I've developed a name for myself. So I mean, I guess I could change it, but it's not terrible. Maybe people
I love it.
think
I love it.
maybe she's got a little spiritual meat and potatoes to her. But when you're, I think my first blog was like Zen Mom Life or something like that. And then it went to something else and something else. And so what I want people to appreciate is it's a process, and that's the fun part. It's
Yeah.
it's not the destination, it's the
Hmm.
journey, as
It's the
cliche as
journey,
that sounds.
but it's the
So
truth.
so be easy on yourself, but
Hmm.
get a freaking mentor, and get one that's going to give it to you straight. If somebody comes to me with a haystack ridiculous logo, I always ask an open-ended question. I say, are you committed to that logo? I don't want to hurt your feelings, but it looks like garbage and it's not going to
Yeah,
look good when you
absolutely.
grow, you know?
So, and that's the thing people don't think about. Well, they don't think about it because they don't know. So you're fresh in business, and that's
Right.
why it's great to have professionals and
Yes.
professionals like yourself with saying that you have to do your homework when you're hiring a professional. You need to see
Oh,
receipts from the professional because then they can take your word when you say, listen, this is not a logo that you can really grow into. So they're thinking local, we're thinking global.
yes, yes, yes. Scalability,
Correct.
right? So if I see one more glittery, you know, so
Pink.
I always write. I'm not going to pigeonhole anybody, but you know who you are. Um, maybe you don't. I don't know.
I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm not
I'm
gonna
gonna
get in
leave.
trouble.
I'm gonna leave that alone because, as my grandfather would say, their money spends too.
Absolutely.
Anyways, when people come to me and they present me with a logo, I always start off with the same question: are you committed to that logo and that branding? And they may say whatever they're going to say, and then I have this picture. I can send it to you that I use, and it's just a little collage of about 15 global brands: Target,
Mhm.
Tesla, Chanel, Lamborghini, you name it, you know. And I always ask them, I put it on them because I don't want to
Uh-huh.
shove it down their throat. I say, what do you notice about these global brands? They're simple, they're timeless, and they're beautiful, right?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
if what you're looking at now doesn't represent that, I think a lot of people think it's got to be complex, especially with
Hmm.
body sculpting and med spa. They always think it's got to have a
A girl in it
complicated
with, but
body
no.
or like a
Hmm.
face and all of this,
Hmm.
which is, it's fine, every to each their own. But if you're looking to expand,
Hmm.
most larger successful businesses have a bit of a corporate image. And that's the key, is how do you take corporate and personal and really put that together into a beautiful brand message? And that's what I try to do for people.
Oh, you're delivering. You're
Okay.
definitely delivering. And I think I've been following you like what since you start. I don't know, since the pandemic
Probably.
started for
I've
sure.
worked with so many of your clients that
I
just love
know.
you.
I know. I love you too. And I was like, I love her. I have to meet her. And I think something, I don't know. Oh, in California, I was supposed to go to California at some point. Somebody had a something and you were there. And I was like, I need to be there. But something came up where I
Right.
couldn't make it. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I want to meet her so bad. But
Well, I want to come to
um,
your next, whenever you have your next event. I know.
January, I don't know what.
Okay. Baby,
Yep.
my baby's due. I'm expecting due in January. So maybe the next one after that.
Oh,
I'll be
of
ready
course.
for champagne.
Yeah, listen, it's going to be a champagne
I
event
know. I've
for
seen the
sure.
videos. They look so much fun. And
We,
I want to give you a plug, Monica, because there
okay.
are so many. Oh my gosh. This is the funny thing. I have so many people that come to me new that just
Mhm.
bought a course from someone, whether it's med spa or IV hydration. And then they come to me for a website or a logo, whatever. And then they turn around and they try to sell it as
Mhm.
if they're a coach
Mhm.
immediately.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that's okay. I mean, some people do better than others. And, and that's like what you were saying, you really want to vet everyone that you work with. I love your idea about receipts or portfolio. In my case, if you're working
Mhm.
with a digital marketer or designer, you want to always say, let me see your portfolio.
Mhm.
Let me see 3 or 4 of the people that you're currently creating content for. Don't give me someone that you did a year ago that fired you because XYZ. Let me see someone you're working with now. And I always also offer, you want to talk to somebody, I have a list of people you can talk to. You can
Absolutely.
reach out to her, reach out to her, reach out to him, whatever the case may be. But, having a community, and that's something that I've been meaning to do, but seeing your community grow and seeing the support that you give really gives me hope, because every single one of the students that you've had that have come to me feel very supported. So I just wanted to give you that
Oh,
plug. For
I
anyone that's
appreciate that.
considering working with you, you actually, and I don't even know you, this is the first time we've ever
Yes.
personally met. We've talked a
Yes.
lot on chat, but anyone that's actually worked with you has nothing but great things to say about your support and your authenticity and your ability to deliver on your promise.
I appreciate that. And I love my clients, and I feel that I'm really, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is definitely my purpose, and I'm growing within my purpose. And I know this is where I'm supposed to be. And I think a lot of people initially, like, you tell them about the logo and, like, are you committed to this? What I tell people is, I am a no fluff person. I am not for everyone. I'm going to deliver, but you're going to work.
Yes, right. And that probably scared you when you first started doing that, but didn't it weed out?
It did. It did.
Mm-hmm.
It did. And at first I was afraid to do it. And I was like, because some people was like, oh, you're so abrasive. And it made me feel, I was in my feelings. I'm not
Right.
going to lie. And then I was
Right.
like, you know what? I'm going to stay true to who I am. And whoever is for me will see the value in what I'm bringing.
Right. Because I only want to work with my people.
Yes, absolutely.
It's kind of like when I was trying to post and be everything to all people, it didn't work. And if you can't be yourself in your coaching, people are going to be attracted to you because of your coaching style. And I always love when, I put my prices on everything. Like, I'm not trying to hide anything. If you can't make that budget work, or if you don't like the way my stuff looks, then you're not the client for me. Like, let's just save each other the time and the expense and the energy and the heartache and the tears and the chargebacks.
Listen. You know what? To be honest, from having Flow with Mo IV hydration business to the consulting brand, I've only had one chargeback.
Yep.
Just one. And I don't know what, I mean, I've heard some horror stories about chargebacks, but I've only had one. And I was like, oh my God. It was a small amount.
I've had a few early on, but you know what that comes from? I appreciated those chargebacks in my day.
Please tell me why.
I'll tell you exactly why. Because it taught me how to protect myself and how to make my expectations and my service offerings extremely clear.
Gotcha.
Right. So if somebody charges back, I always say, well, I mean, it's been a while, but I would say, why did they do this? How could this be an area for growth for me?
Improvement.
So, many times it's, well, I thought this included XYZ. So was I not clear on my website? So I'll go straight to my website, look at my description for this product, and really buff it up to make sure that it's very clear. And if for some reason there's any ambiguity, I would put a disclaimer. This product cannot be used with. You cannot use this service if you haven't already used this service. Whatever it is, get rid of the smoke and mirrors. And then the other thing it taught me is, before you spend a penny with me, I have a service agreement that you must sign. My service agreement before used to be done after you made payment. Then I would send you a service agreement. It would get lost in the shuffle. There was no timestamp. But I was able to download, and there's plenty of these out there. And if anybody's curious later, I can try to help you depending on what platform you use. If you use Shopify or Squarespace, or some of these beauty, like Vagaro and Gloss Genius and Jane App and all of those things. But WordPress is a standard website, and I have a plugin where when you go to purchase anything, you sign a service agreement that says all payments are non-refundable and non-transferable. You agree to these terms before you spend a penny with me. It is my discretion to refund you if I want to. And I refund people all the time because I have a subscription-based service.
Okay.
And they always forget, month to month. And, sometimes people need stuff and they'll forget. And they'll just be like, hey, I forgot to cancel my thing. Just resubscribe. I'm like, no problem. It's fine. And they always come back, because I'm not trying to. It's like a circle of people that are always kind of with you. So I think those lessons, ideally, if they're small enough, they force you to protect yourself.
I like that. The eye you looking at that from, because I didn't even think about it like that. It just helps you to sharpen and protect what you have, for sure.
Right. And to be clear about what it is you're offering, especially in this day and age, especially in the beauty niche, with people over promising weight loss or skin changes or lips or metabolism or immunity or whatever it is that you're promoting. You just want to be very clear about what promises you're making, you know?
Yes, for sure. I had one more question, but I think you probably answered it already. I was like, how can we use social media to grow your business? But you already kind of touched on that. But if you want to leave, the community with the last
Sure.
little nugget on how to best use social media to grow your business, because social media is a free platform.
Yes, and you had talked about that using social media. So I just want to re-emphasize the fact that Instagram and Facebook and TikTok are free.
For now.
Well, actually, if you want to be verified or whatever on Instagram, and I think Twitter, yeah, Twitter, whatever
Mhm.
that is now, they changed their logo to an X. I don't even know what's going on. I pulled it up the other day. What is this? And that's the other thing, is it moves at lightning speed. If I don't log into a platform, or I'm a super techie person and I have subscriptions for all kinds of stuff. If I don't log into something for 20 days and I log back
Mhm.
in, there's a million new features.
Yes.
So I'm going to give you a couple of gems
Okay.
on social media to really kind of help some people. There are some amazing applications out there that are right under your nose that could be making you money that you don't even know about. And this is really geared, this would be great for you too, Monica. Are you on Pinterest?
I was with my drip business, but I haven't went on a consulting business. I have not.
If you have digital products and that's something
I
that
do.
you do, Pinterest is a search engine. It's not social media. People go to Pinterest for two reasons. Do you know why?
Okay.
Do
Okay.
you know why people go to
I
Pinterest?
don't. I
To
don't.
solve problems or to buy something,
Okay.
right? You go to Pinterest, you want to solve a problem. How do I
No problem.
DIY this
Yep.
shelf?
For
Or
sure.
you go because you want to buy something.
Yep.
And there are ads on every platform. I'm not talking about ads, I'm talking about organic.
Okay.
So Pinterest is a very visual search engine. So when you're doing your content for social media, my biggest take home message, and this loops back to one of the other topics we talked about, which is how to not get overwhelmed. If you think about the cycle of how you can tie everything together to get people engaged in your customer journey, right? So
Okay.
if you really want to dive deep and you want to talk about marketing and how to get people in, when I get ads clients, they always say, I want to go straight for the $4,000 thing. I want to
Mhm.
sell 10 weight loss somethings for $4,000. And I always say, well, how many followers do you have? Well, I have 1,000. Okay, well, that's probably not going to work. How long is your list? Well, I have like 125 people on my list. Well, I can't upload that to Facebook and do a lookalike audience to retarget and find other people based on 100 people. If you had like 500 or 1,000, that may work. So when we're looking at the sales journey in things like Pinterest, if you've got a little ebook, everybody's talking about digital products, right? Digital products. How do I make money off an ebook? You can either charge for it or you can give it away. But if you've got that ebook as what's called a lead magnet,
Mhm.
probably heard that
Of
before.
course.
So you give value, and then
Mhm.
on social media, and you say, okay, if you want more information, download my free ebook,
Mhm.
right? And then the free ebook, they put their email in, and that's what you want, is the golden email
Yeah, we
address,
want the
right?
email.
To build your list.
Mhm.
And then that email comes back with the link to download the ebook. Ideally, the ebook has value. We do
Mhm.
ebooks for visual creation. And then now you have an opportunity to upsell them on other
Mhm.
things and get them involved in who you are, whether you're
Yep.
selling memberships, in your case, consulting, in my case, design and marketing services. But taking those little things and having freebies, or having, even if you have a little ebook, and putting those things on Instagram, it's free traffic to social media. It's free. And especially if you've got, some nice graphics put together or what have you. So the other great thing about Pinterest is there's auto schedulers for
Oh.
Pinterest, and Tailwind app is one of those. I think it is. I think you do have to pay for it. It's like maybe $14 or $7.99 a month or something. But it'll auto generate all of your pins for you
Oh.
for months. And then you click a button that says auto schedule, and then you can also tell it whichever ones have the highest engagement or highest
Mm-hmm.
view, just run those again.
You know
So,
what? I'm doing that tonight.
well, don't get over. I did a experiment when I was blogging, and there was something to do with hair scarves. I just thought I was really into scarves for a while, so I started blogging, and I got up to 500,000 views or impressions in a month, in 30 days,
Wow.
just by using simple tools on Pinterest and Tailwind. So automation would be the last thing that I'll leave you with. And we talked about not becoming overwhelmed. And I'm a big fan of automation.
I know that.
I have a CRM platform. It's called Lumi Funnels. And that basically allows you to automate your emails, automate your text messages, automate calendar reminders. You can send out promos, holidays, birthdays, whatever the case may be. It's got a booking bot. So, I run ads on Instagram, and the fruit is in the follow-up
Okay.
when you're working with people. So
Absolutely.
most busy entrepreneurs, 99.999% of them that I talk to, say I'm too busy scaling my business. I don't have time to get back to these people. In my brain, I could only hold on to people for about a week.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just forgot, were they
Yeah.
messaging me on Facebook or
Yeah.
Instagram?
It's a
Did
lot.
they email me? Was it Messenger? Like, where's this person reaching out to me? When you're looking at automation, there's a lot of mini chat. On Instagram, a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
use this function, DM me the word
Right.
beauty and I'll send you whatever. Mini chat is a form of automation. And then whenever it gets that DM or that word, it shoots them your link,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's a form of automation. Imagine if your whole business was set up that way.
That's the goal.
Right, exactly. So looking into some automation software to allow you to spend more time focusing on your business using virtual assistants can be really helpful. Hope I'm not talking too much. I could talk
No,
forever about
no,
this stuff.
listen, you have given us some valuable, and we definitely appreciate your value.
Thank
Definitely.
you.
We appreciate you for what you give to our community. You always over deliver.
Oh, thank
Always,
you.
always.
My goal is to help women succeed in this busy marketplace, to not be duped, to have the tools to really rise above and be just as competitive as some of these bigger names or bigger brands.
Mhm.
So if anybody has any questions, I could talk forever about a lot of things. I'm happy to answer questions. I don't
Yes.
try to monetize questions.
Mhm.
I don't really have a. I need to talk with you about how to start like a community or a group.
You have one.
Well, I
You have a community.
do, but my fear is that a lot of the people that I work for, that we run ads for and do social, that they're competitors. How do you deal with that when you have a round table of these women? Some of them live in the same city. Like, do they
No,
have
so
like
what
a
happens is, the relationships that I'm building, because like you said, they don't do exactly, but we're in the same space and
right?
we
Yeah,
have a lot of the same clients. So you have Nike, you have Reebok, you have Adidas,
right,
right? People gonna like Nike, people gonna like Adidas, people gonna like Reebok. People are attracted to the it factor from you, your
right,
sauce, whatever your sauce
right,
is. You serve your sauce, and guess what? Nobody, you do what you do, and nobody gonna serve it like you serve it.
right.
So
Exactly.
that's what I always think about. And it can be a little intimidating when you go in a space with somebody that's doing what you do in
Right,
at a high level as you are. So always remember, I always remember I'm the sauce. I'm the sauce and
right.
I'm serving the sauce.
Mm,
People gonna be attracted to me because of the sauce that I'm serving.
right. I love that. Thank you for that reminder. I needed that today
Yeah, you
because
are the
my
sauce.
niche, my niche is very saturated. Everybody's, but I don't necessarily believe in saturation.
I don't either. I
There's
don't.
a lot of stuff out there, but I agree with you. We're attracted
Mhm.
to things for whatever
But
reason.
nobody does it like you do it.
Right.
They
Thank
don't
you.
they don't do it like you do it. Now, it's a lot of people doing things in the marketing space, in the ad space, but they
Right.
don't do it and they don't have the ROI like you do.
Right.
You
Thank
know, your
you.
people are getting the return on investment.
Right.
I hear it in the community all the time. Your name is ringing. That's why I was like, I
Oh,
no, I'm not just saying that. I'm saying it because it's what it is. You
right.
have the social proof. You shown that you deliver no matter what. I can call out top of my head probably 10 brands or 10 of my clients that you have worked with and their brand looks amazing. It's
Oh,
going
thank
to
you.
grow as they grow in scale in business. Their brand is going to continue to grow.
That is the biggest compliment. That's what I want for these women is to stand out and be proud of
Absolutely.
their brand, to be proud of the visual representation of this dream, this thing inside them that wakes you up every morning and tucks you into bed every night. You can't let it go. You can't get rid of it. It's the entrepreneurialism bug. When you get bitten with it, it's
Yeah,
yours for life. It
it
never
is.
goes away.
It doesn't. It never goes away. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and you don't really care about time because you're in your zone and you're doing your
Yep,
thing. Yeah.
totally.
Well, with all of those great gems and all the love that you're giving us at the Med Spa Club podcast, how can the people stay connected with you? Give us some ways to stay connected with you.
Some links. So my personal Instagram is Zen Jessica.
Mm-hmm.
My business Instagram is kickstartsocial.co. And then I cross reference each of those brands in my bio. So if you stumble on one, you can get to the other, vice versa. And I do share a lot of content, especially with that new collaboration feature on Instagram where you can post a reel or something to multiple different accounts at the same time. So Zen Jessica or kickstartsocial.co.
Mm-hmm.
And all of my information, Lumi Funnels, Lumi. Lumi Funnels is the automation software that makes everything possible, has the auto scheduler for your social to decrease your overwhelm, has all of your automation for your ads, your emails, your text messages, and everything. It's only $119 a month. Side note,
Wow.
and includes a course builder as well. So when you look at programs like Kajabi or Teachable, those are $200, $300, $400 a month
They are
just
very
for.
expensive.
Correct. So
Very
you get
expensive.
all of those things for $119 a month. No contracts. Cancel anytime. So Zen Jessica or kickstartsocial.co or Lumi Funnels, you should be able to find any of my information there. And again, my main flagship service is Kickstart Social Pro, which is unlimited graphic design, unlimited social media content and graphics, and we post for you, and unlimited ads creation and funnel setup for just $4.99 a month. No
Yeah.
contracts, cancel anytime. I wanted it to be
That is very affordable.
right. And when I first started doing this, it was the average. I accidentally stumbled. I was in Instagram jail. I did something stupid and I couldn't figure out how to get my account back and I was freaking out. And I had a friend at the time that was in some techie, messenger group, and she introduced me to this guy. And I accidentally stumbled across him, and he was doing Facebook ads for med spas. And I observed him, I shadowed him on some calls with some of my clients that I referred to him. This is how I stumbled on it. If you believe in miracles, you believe in magic, and you're being in the right place at the right time. I didn't even know that this existed.
Alignment. Mm-hmm.
And he was so pushy, and he was like, give me your credit card, and are all the decision makers there? It's $1,500 a month, and you got to sign a year contract. And I was just like, whoa, this is so hardcore. And I tried that when I first started. I did that. I charged $2,000-$3,000 a month for the service that I'm doing now for $499. But guess what? Med spas don't sell products that cost enough to get them an ROI.
Yes.
You have to be a super big spa selling some major, you have to have top end machinery, M-Sculpt, cryo, all different kinds of things. What am I thinking of? The cool sculpting, things that you charge $1,500 a treatment for.
Absolutely.
Most people don't have that kind of stuff. So I said, you know what? Throwing that garbage out the window, and I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to really help these women
Yes.
because I want long-term relationships. I'd
Yes.
rather have a client for 12 months
Sustainability.
paying me
Mhm.
$500,
Yes.
referring me to all their friends, than
Absolutely.
somebody that sticks with me for 2 months. It gets a bad taste in their mouth
Then they
because they're like,
gone.
I didn't get anything out of this.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go tell 10 people, and those 10 people say, she's too expensive. This doesn't work. What's
Yep.
more important to you? You know, it's
Mhm.
not just about the money to me.
Yes. And you have to learn that. Because
Right.
when you first start, you're so busy trying to get your return on investment
Yes.
that
Yes.
you get sidetracked. You're like, what is it really about? And that's going back to your why. Why am I doing this? Why am I showing
Right.
up? And if you stick to your why, the money will come.
Yes. I absolutely agree. Don't make scarcity mindset decisions, or
Yes,
they'll all suck.
for sure.
You
Been
right.
there, done that.
Me too.
Been there, done that. It was like, thank God
Right.
for
You have,
delivery.
and it always works out. You always land on your feet,
You do.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you got to invest in yourself wisely with the help of a mentor like yourself, to
Mm-hmm.
someone to tell you, if I were you and I had $1,000 to spend and I was in your situation, spend it over here, because you
Mm-hmm.
might make a little bit more, and then you could get over here where you wanted to be,
Absolutely.
But a
Absolutely.
lot of people, they waste a ton of money because they don't know what to do, and they always come to me broken. These broken women. They say, I spent so much money, and I just, and they're so scared and they're so trigger shy because they've
So
been.
what I tell them is when they come in, they're
You
broken
tell me, what
and
do you say? What do because you
they're
probably
broke.
get a lot of them too.
They're broken and broke.
Yes,
So
yes.
what I say is I give them some words of wisdom. I
Yeah,
help them to reset and I tell them to come back when they get their revenue at a place
right,
where they can come and work with me
right. When they
if we
feel good
align.
about it,
Absolutely.
when they feel
So
good. Mhm.
you won't be good to work with me. First, you're gonna be trying to go back and forth with the price, number one.
Right,
And then two, you're not in a good headspace
right,
mindset to be able to do the work that it takes to be able to get the return that you're looking to get. It's not
right,
gonna work. So
right.
I'm gonna pat you, get you in a good position,
Give you a hug.
and then I'll see you when you come back.
I love that. And I do the same thing with people. I say, you know what? I'm really sorry that you got robbed.
Absolutely.
Number one, I'm not bringing my price down just because
Ab-
you got robbed. I'm not paying for somebody else's sins,
yes, absolutely.
right? And come back when you're ready. And if they do, then they're my people.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Ooh, we have had a
Yeah,
time today. Look how long we've been on here. It
I
didn't
know.
seem
It
we
just
just
flew
running
by.
it.
All
But thank
right.
you so much for your
You're
valuable
welcome.
time. Thank you guys for listening to the Man Spot Club podcast, and we look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Monica.